Greetings, toy fans. I am back and I am here today to open another toy for you to see and appreciate and love. And today I am opening a toy that I did not purchase for myself. This purchase, my wife and I were out looking for a toy for myself last night, and lo and behold, she found one for her. So we purchased it. Literally. We purchased it. My wife loves it. I have never seen it, the old or the new, but whenever there is an It Pennywise figure, my wife feels that we need to add it to the collection, and I don't really have a leg to stand on when she says she wants to purchase a figure. In fact, she did actually purchase one from the NECA Pennywise line a year ago, the first one that came out, which was pretty cool. It actually came with 4 heads total, several pairs of hands, a little paper boat, all apparently quite viable when it comes to the movie, and it even came with a bunch of balloons. So happy little clown for all you fans out there. That has been on our shelf for a little over a year now. That was supposed to be basically from the first of the older movies, and this is from part 2. Pennywise. This is from NECA. So I sometimes will purchase NECA figures, and I will tell you why. Because they have excellent sculpts. Other than that, I'm not the biggest fan. Their sculpts are amazing. I mean, they're second to none, really. They might be second to some, but they are just incredible. What tends to happen in my view with NECA is their sculpts will sometimes get in the way of good articulation. The joints aren't always the greatest, and the swappable pieces can be difficult to put on. So here we go. Got Pennywise. He's got 2 different heads on top of the one he comes with, so I guess 3 total. There's a couple pairs of hands that are designed to look like claws, I suppose. There's a balloon. This is Turn Back Now, and a photo album of Pennywise reaching out. Once again, I've never seen this movie, so I don't know, but apparently this is all quite relevant and quite awesome. And I did not get to this collection by saying no to buying toys. So if someone in my household is passionate about a certain toy, doggone it, it's coming home with us. And this did, just last night. We bought it at GameStop, 25 bucks. It's the first time I've seen this. I didn't know another one was coming out. So let's see how it stacks up comparatively. I think that's the best way to do it. So these are both from NECA. They both came out basically within the same year of one another. I am going to take the balloons out of the hand of the last year one so we can just get a closer look at them comparatively. New, old. The sculpt looks absolutely the same, which makes sense. NECA's trying to, get some money out of their molds. So let's talk about things that look a little different. The paint on new on the vest and sleeves tends to have a bit more of a metallic shimmer in the green in particular, and this silverish on the vest looks more metallic as well. Stand up. Their joints on these NECA can sometimes be a little stiff, and I am admittedly having problems getting this new one in a standing position. There we go. His feet are sort of stuck in a way I do not like. Frustrating little clown. As you can see, we've convinced last year's Pennywise to stand properly. He's been trained in the arts of Mark's Toy Box. There we go. So, we got 2 Pennywise. That face sculpt, oh my goodness. Just look at it. I mean, I've not seen the movies about this happy, precocious little clown, but look at how joyful he is. Look at how much happiness he's prepared to bring to the citizens of whatever town he's traveling to. So we're gonna take a closer look at these, but the sculpts are amazing. So here we are with Pennywise. One of the great things about NECA figures is they are made from a pretty solid plastic. As such, this guy's a little heavy and is too heavy to really stay on my $5 spinning turntable, so I can't really put him on there and have it show. Nonetheless, we'll get some more up-close shots of him here in the light. Just a fantastic sculpt, really. I mean, and this is, like I said, I've not seen the movies at all, but this is one happy clown. I mean, you can tell that he really entertains kids. You know, he's telling them with this balloon, turn back now. I assume that's mostly because it's just so much fun that the kids are going to have. I do have him standing on a NECA base because, quite frankly, once again, he's very heavy, and the one thing NECA sacrifices, I think, for their beautiful sculpts is articulation. His feet are just not bending much, and as such, they're not really holding himself up very well. NECA puts holes in the bottom of all the feet. They do sell these little disc stands. I bought a 10-pack of them one time at Toys R Us. God rest its soul. So, really great paint applications. As I said earlier, you know, there's a very metallic tint to that green, and some of the vest really has some good metallics. But just look at the hair on that. I mean, look at the face application for that paint job. He's a really happy clown. He really wants to entertain children. The pom-poms right there for the buttons, just outstanding. And we've got a few other faces. This is a really, whoa, kids, you gotta come check this out, face. And that's a seriously, kids, just check this out. It's totally awesome. Lots of great faces. My wife really appreciated this piece right here. Apparently he has some magical abilities, and he shows off to kids that, look, I can pop out of picture books. And I mean, even just the detail on that, you can tell it's actually a book. I mean, it's not really a book, but it's designed to look like a book with all those pages. It's very well done. Like I said, NECA does not hold back on the sculpts. We got a couple different sets of hands. This looks more like Velociraptor dinosaur hands because, you know, the clown obviously realizes that kids love dinosaurs. And so that's that. And the other set of extra hands, they're both actually right hands. One is for holding the balloon. You just sort of moved. And the other is just sort of an open hand. Now I want to show you something. Number one is, you notice the balloon's sort of on a wire, so it sort of can be bent however you want it, but that's not what I wanted to show you. They gave you this additional hand here, and I have no idea at all what the difference is between the additional hand and the hand he came with. Like, they look exactly the same to me. So, thanks NECA. Thanks a lot for that. You know, in case I lose one hand or something, I don't know. Does this... I was just curious if there's any articulation on that hand, because if you look at that, it does look like there's a little joint right down there, but I'm not really seeing any movement out of him. The other thing, I have not swapped out his head or hands, and I'm going to tell you why right now. Once again, with NECA, they use it. Doggone it. Even on this disc thing, he's having a hard time standing up. With NECA, they sometimes sacrifice, like I said, the plastic is very hard and solid and well sculpted. But man, oh man, the first one that my wife purchased, I did swap out the head and the hands so that he can hold the bundle of balloons, and it was so hard to put on. They are not really well suited for swapping out. So unless you've got a hairdryer nearby, I don't recommend it. I'm Pennywise, the super happy clown. I'm here to make your day because I love kids and I love entertaining them. I got balloons. All right, you basically got a 2-for-1 deal tonight, though the two are basically one. NECA, they make smaller batches and they sell them to a more niche market, so they try to get their money's worth out of their molds. And I can't say I blame them. And I do appreciate that there's a company out there that cares this much about sculpting. I mean, this just phenomenal stuff. I was able to, I tried in between to pop off his head and put on a new one, and actually this one worked out a whole heck of a lot better than the very first Pennywise that came out last year, because I had this head off and on in about a minute. So that worked out quite nicely. The sculpt is beautiful. The one thing I have found on this one so far is I pretty much cannot get those elbows to bend. And they're double jointed elbows, but I can't get them to bend at all. And I'm gonna be careful and just not push it, because I'd rather not break the joints. I might try and hit them with some heat a little later. Probably just use a hairdryer on them. For just a little tip for those of you who have tough joints that have a hard time moving, if you hit them with a hairdryer, it can loosen them up a little bit. If you're trying to swap out heads and they're not working, hit them with a hairdryer, it'll loosen up the plastic a little bit. So all in all, I'm a very big fan of the fact that we've got some toy companies out there that care so much about sculpt. I wish they could match articulation in that regard, but I'm sure if they did that, the pricing would go up. We've got two Pennywise. My wife loves them. Pennywise, the happy dancing clown who loves to make kids happy and smile, or something like that. Not seen the movies, I don't know. I'm in the dark here. I do want to give a tip. Though this one's elbows do not move, the first one I got the elbows to move. As you can see, he's able to hold up those balloons. If I leave him on the shelf like that, the next day he's gonna have fallen over, those balloons are gonna fall over. It's not designed to hold the balloons forever, and that's okay because it's a really funky weight. But nonetheless, there's some great sculpts. I am thankful that we have NECA out there. They make some really great figures. I've got one of my favorite figures is actually Gizmo from Gremlins, that's made by NECA, and it is phenomenal. So go out there, support NECA. They make great things. They're more designed for sculpt and static appearance than they are action and playability, in my opinion. But I think there's a lot of collectors that want that. So thank you very much for checking in. Once again, I am Mark. This is Mark's Toy Box on YouTube. You can go to Mark's Toy Box on Instagram if you really want to. You don't have to. This past weekend it was the adventures of the traveling Star-Lord. He does that from time to time with me. So thank you very much for checking in. Please check out Instagram, or don't, or whatever. I am Mark. This is Mark's Toy Box. Thank you to my wife for buying another toy that I got to open and unveil for you. Have a great day.